Madam Joyce,
Yes.
mambo na salary and promotion it should come hand in hand, ama tunafaa upromotiwe pesa kwanza ibaki mahali ilikuwa?
I know there are those kinds of dilemmas. There are those kind of dilemmas whether to go for money or to go for what
Passion.
you are, for your passion.
Madam Joyce, good morning.
Yes, morning to you.
Uko sawa?
Niko sawa kabisa.
Weekend imekuwa sawa?
Iko sawa.
Ama pia uko na evidence? Najua ni wiki ya evidence.
Evidence uliona imeletwa na lori. So kuna evidence nyingi sana. Inaweza kuwa hata evidence ya wewe ulipigia nani.
Oh my.
Don't joke.
Tukifika hapo,
kura yangu zile yangu.
Tukifika hapo.
tunaenda Nigeria.
Chemukati ulianza leo akisema nilimpigia. Lakini wewe unasema Madam Joyce Mghoi.
Yes.
We're talking about salary issues.
Yes.
Najua hakuna mtu ambaye hapendi pesa.
Kila mtu anapenda pesa.
Na sijui mbona waliita salary hawakuita pesa. Ama ni njia moja ya kuipaka rangi.
Walipaka rangi, lakini salary just means what you are paid after you've done a job. After you've done a job, especially salary is mostly it's mostly referred to what you earn at the end of the of the month. Of course, tuko na wages, you know, those are small monies that people earn when they have done some jobs here and there.
Exactly.
That may not be really permanent. But we talk about salaries, especially when it involves what you are paid at the end of the month, or some people also pay mid-month and at the end of the month. And it is something which is fixed, or it is something that you agree, it is fixed, at least for a year. If there are reviews every year, or if there are increments every year, again, it is something which is known. That every year your salary will increase by this percentage. So it is not something that you wake up from nowhere and say, this is, you know, this is what you're going to earn, or this is what I'm going to be paid. It is something which is structured. It is something which is known, that at the end of the month, you'll be getting this much money. And then every year, if there is a company that increases some amount of money every year, again, you'll know your salary will increase by how much. So that's what basically salary is all about.
Hiyo ni mshahara.
Yes.
Wages ndio unalipwa maybe per day.
Yes, per day, or piecework, you know, maybe you've done some little project here and there, and then you are paid. You can refer to that as wages. But salary is what you're paid every month.
Okay, so now there's this particular thing of salary issues,
Yes.
Madam Joyce.
Yes.
I'll base it literally on careers. Ndio.
Yes.
I'm a journalist. Sindio.
Yes.
I have my passion in journalism. I'm speaking for journalism, journalists out there. I have a very strong passion in journalism.
Yes.
Na all I need maybe it is passion and money. Lakini ile pesa ninapata from journalism haikidhi mahitaji. And now nimejaribu kwenda in banking sector. Sababu kuna pesa pale. Just an example. Just an example. An assumption.
Yes.
I don't know whether kunazo lakini sijui. But an assumption. My passion is in journalism. Lakini mshahara napata kwa journalism ni kidogo. Na nimeamua kwenda banking sector. Ndo nipate pesa lakini ile kazi siipendi. So you do it, pressure iko hapo, like bora tupate pesa. Lakini journalism umeiacha. Na unaipenda lakini hakuna pesa. Dilemma, Madam Joyce.
I know there are those kinds of dilemmas. There are those kinds of dilemmas whether to go for money or to go for what
Passion.
you are, for your passion. But one thing we normally say is that go for your passion, because if you go for the money, you will be earning a lot of money, but you will not be happy. And what is the most important thing in life? Is it money or happiness? You know, happiness is the most important thing. Although kuna hiyo saying ya kusema afadhali nililie kwa Mercedes Benz kuliko kwa baiskeli, but in the real sense, okay, in the initial stages, and when you are young, like you people, the way you are young now,
That's what I'm asking.
like the way you are young now, it seems like money is everything.
Yeah.
Money is everything. You want money, everything. Your thought is about money. What is it that is going to give me a lot of money? That's what you want to go for. And that is what every human being, because people want money. They want money so that money can make their lives comfortable. Money can help them do things here and there. And therefore, everybody really likes money. So even young people, more so young people, they look at, where will I get more money? Where I'll get more money, that's where I want to go. And yes, some people manage to go where they will get a lot of money. But after 2-3 years, they are not able to continue anymore, and they leave that job and they go for something which is less, which is something probably they have passion for. So there is this issue of, this is my passion, but he doesn't have money. This is my passion, but there is really no money here. Or okay, we cannot again. There is something that we say when we say it's not, there is no money. What do we exactly mean? Because money is never enough. You can never have enough money and say, now it is enough. By the way, actually, even yesterday I was watching a documentary of a rich family in Australia that decided to give off their money. They are old, they are in old age, and they said, we don't want to die with all this money. So they have decided to give away their money. But how many people do that? People always look for money. The people look for money. They will hold and hold and hold and hold. Even when they are dying, they will be dying with a lot of money, but they will not be able to give it out. So yes, you are in a career. You love this career very much. But this career, according to people's standards, again, because money is relative. If I give you 500 shillings, there is somebody who really appreciate and say, she gave me a lot of money. 500 bob. And someone, you give that 500 shillings, they say, a whole madam, ananipatia 500. Hii 500 ni ya nini? Hata afadhali angenipatia 1000. Are you getting that? So what do we really mean when we say, my career doesn't have enough money? What do we really mean? What is enough? What is enough money? Because what is enough for you may not be enough for somebody else, because money is relative. Money is relative. Amount of money is relative. To someone, that may be a lot of money. To another person, that may not be a lot of money. So I think what we should be looking at is the job you are doing, is it able to cater for your needs? Is it able to cater for your needs? If it is able to cater for your needs and it is your passion, go for it and relax in it and enjoy it. Because when you're doing it, you will be enjoying the work. You will not be laboring. You will not be toiling and sweating, But if you go for employment that you don't really like, but you're going for it because of money, you'll be toiling, you'll be sweating, you'll be unhappy, you will be, all that. Yes, the money will be there, but then you will not be happy.
Now, Madam Joyce,
Yes.
as a career expert,
Yes.
what do you think that we have a lot of people venturing into careers that they never trained for?
Okay. Venturing into careers that they never trained for. That is because of unemployment. That's actually because of unemployment.
Is money the real issue?
That's because of unemployment. The issue now is, I don't have a job. I don't have any other job. So I will do any job that comes. That's why people are doing, or people have embarked into careers that they really did not train in their undergraduate, or they never trained. The reason why people are embarking on those jobs is because of lack of employment. It's because of lack of them. There is nothing else that I can be able to do. So because there is nothing else I can be able to do, let me even do this one that is available, that's available for me. This is what is available, this is what I'll do, though it is not something that I trained at undergraduate, or it's not something that I trained. So they will do that job not because of passion and not because of money, but because there is nothing else they can be able to do. But I would like to say this. There are people who did not train for a particular job. And when they went out there, it was the only job that was available. And they started doing it. And they started enjoying it. And they went back to school now to train for that particular job, part-time. So they are doing this job, and then they realize kumbe even this one is good enough. So they have gone back to class on part-time basis to train now for this particular one that they really did not train for, but is what they found out there and they started doing. So that one also is possible for someone to train for something else, go out there, get something else to do, which is not what they trained for, then fall in love with it and then move with it as a career.
Madam
So it
Joyce
also
Mghoi,
happens. Yes.
Mimi niko uncomfortable.
You are very
Kwa
uncomfortable.
sababu tulikuwa
Yes.
si mimi Wachira, ndio ni mtu
Yes.
naulizia swali on
Yes.
his behalf.
Yes.
Tulikuwa tunasoma na Chacha shule moja
Yes.
pale degree tukagraduate pamoja.
Yes.
Sahi ako kazi, mimi sikupata kazi. Chacha ana earn 100k. Mimi sahi kazi yenye napata ile application ananiambia 20k. Nitafanya hii kazi kweli?
Yes.
Ama nitaenda kwa ile ya Chacha?
Utaenda kwa Chacha, kwa ile ya Chacha kama hakuna availability.
Kwa sababu nasema lazima mimi nipate kazi kama ya Chacha kwa sababu tulisoma na yeye.
Yes, you desire to get a job like Chacha's. Yeah. But if it is not available, you start where you are. If you're starting at 20,000, start at 20,000. Actually, also the youth need to know, even if you start at a lower level, it doesn't mean that you will not reach the higher levels. And this is what the youth do not want to listen to. This is what the youth don't want. And that is why there's a time I said here that we encourage the youth to volunteer their services. Yeah. When you are volunteering, you may not be given anything, or you may be given fair. Yeah. But youth don't want that. They want to go into an employment that will give them the money that they desire. And even the money that they desire. And even when they're looking at others and comparing themselves with other people, that one also makes them feel so discouraged to an extent that they don't start. They don't begin. Yeah. They are waiting to begin at that higher level, which doesn't come. You should be able to start at a lower level. Some of us, when we graduate, we get good jobs straight away, and we are happy. Some of us, when we graduate, we may not get all those good jobs immediately. We may start at a lower level. Now, when you start at a lower level, doesn't mean that you'll not be able to reach those higher levels that you desire. So my encouragement is, if Chacha is earning 100,000, you are all journalists. Yes. He went to a big media company and is earning 100,000. And you went to a smaller media company and you have been told by the media company, please start at 20,000. Please start at that level and then grow. Grow with time. Grow either within that organization or you'll be able to get another opportunity in another media company that will pay you well. So youth should not fear to start at a lower level, number one. Number two, youth should not compare themselves with each other. They should not. We should not compare ourselves. That you're comparing yourself with this one, you're comparing yourself with that one, and then you tell yourself, how can I take this low salary when someone else is taking this higher salary? You're not someone else. You are you, and you have your beginning area. You know, this is where you are beginning, but you are going to grow with that particular profession, that particular area, and then you are finally going to reach the levels that you desire. You don't start earning high salary when you just start. You must start somewhere lower, and then you keep on growing with it.
Nadhani wanasikiza haswa vijana fresh graduates. Ama kama wewe si fresh graduate ama mtu ambaye umepata kazi yako mara ya kwanza.
Mara ya kwanza.
Unajua swala hili zima mshahara, Madam Joyce, limekuwa ni donda sugu sana. Sasa kwa wale watu ambao wanaanza kazi yao mara ya kwanza, kwa sababu wanajihisi ni kana kwamba wanaonewa. Unafanya kazi moja na mtu mmoja. Niko na kampuni moja na wewe. Lakini wewe unalipwa mingi, mimi nalipwa kidogo. Sijui hili swala lazima tunaweza tukalifanyaje, Madam Joyce?
Kuna hiyo swali, I hope that is what you are asking, that you are in the same company and you are probably all of you been employed at the same time, but now you realize your colleagues are earning slightly higher than you.
Na mind you, mlijoin
the same time. Maybe when you did the interview the same time. Now, most of the organizations, most of the good organizations, they are structured. They are structured, and therefore the salaries are known. You will know the salaries. You will actually, even if you wanted to know, how much you're going to start earning at this level, you'll be able to know. And it also depends on the job group. Which entry level, or if it's entry level, if it is a certain job group, you'll know that this is what the company pays. So there are those companies, there are those organizations that are quite structured, and whatever they pay is uniform. for everybody.
Yeah.
It is very, very uniform. And then we have organizations that their salaries are dependent. Their salaries are dependent. One, it may be depending on the skills, the technical skills that someone has, technical skills that someone has. It may also depend on the negotiation skills. You know, when you are doing an interview, sometimes you can be given an opportunity to negotiate for your salary, negotiation skills. It also depends on the environment where you are working. Depends on the environment where you are working. It also depends on the kind of work that you are doing. So there are those companies that are structured. There are those companies that are not structured, and therefore their jobs depend on the skills that you have. If you have skills, you will be paid higher than probably someone who does not have skills. And then the area where you are working also will be dependent, because you can find there are some people that are working in remote areas. The environment is not very conducive, and therefore you are doing the same job, but then because they are working in a harsh environment, they are probably paid in a different using a different rate. So the skills, the environment where you are working, all that can make salaries vary from one person to another. But there is this issue that you have asked. We were employed at the same time.
Exactly.
We have the same skills, but you discover that someone is earning, and you discover much later. By the way, you don't discover immediately. You discover much later that Allah,
Nilikosea wapi?
one, my salary is not the same. When I'm saying this, I remember when I completed school. I did the old system of education, where I completed my Form 6, and then I went to teach as an untrained teacher in a certain school.
Nilikuwa na O level.
Ulikuwa na A level na O level. So after you finished your A level, you're supposed to go to campus. But there is the period between when you complete and when you go to campus, a whole year. So that whole year, I decided to go and look for a school to teach. So I got a school and I taught. I taught for around 11 months. 11 months. Now, the day I was leaving, the day now I've gotten a letter to go to campus, now I'm leaving the school. The day I was leaving, when I went for my salary from the Nini, I discovered I was being paid less. I was being paid less, actually not being paid less, but there were allowances that I was supposed to be receiving, but I was not. I never received house allowance. I never received house allowance. So I don't know how I fluked on the information that people were being paid house allowance, and me, I was not being paid house allowance. You bet. I raised it. I raised it with the person paying. I raised it with the head teacher. I raised it with everybody that was able to listen. And of course, I left. But later on, we organized how they were going to pay me in arrears, and they paid me. So now, there are those companies that do that. Some of those companies employ different races. So you'll find you are a white, you are paid differently. You are a black, you are paid differently. You are an Indian, you are paid differently. You are a Kenyan, you are paid differently. There are those companies that do that, which is wrong and should not happen. It's wrong and should not happen, because you are doing the same kind of job. But there is another area where these salaries may differ, and this is the area of negotiation. Have you ever heard of negotiation?
Exactly.
Negotiating for your salary. When you're called for an interview, sometimes the employer may ask you, what do you want us to pay you?
A very, very challenging question.
A very challenging question. So if the employer asks you, what do you want us to pay you? This is where salaries may differ. Because what you quote may not be what James quoted. Maybe James quoted a higher figure, you quoted a lower figure. And the employer would be happy with that. If you say, I don't mind 30K, and Washira says, I don't mind 50K, I would like you to pay me 50K, and has reasons why he wants to be paid 50K. Maybe the skills, maybe, the voice, maybe the way I attract the listeners and so on. There is a way he will sell himself. And then you'll say, me, I want to be paid. I want to be paid 50K.
So there's a possibility.
And then you go there and you undervalue yourself. And you say you want to be paid 30K.
Hawezi standardize, Madam Joyce.
They may, if it's a good organized organization, they may. But they may go by what you're giving, what you yourself you have stated. So yes, the salaries may vary at negotiation table.
You know,
salaries may vary at negotiation
hatujuangi,
table.
definitely.
Yes, hatujuangi. Now, this question of salaries, if the interviewers, the interviewees don't ask you, don't raise it. In an interview panel, don't start asking, now, how much are you going to pay me? Please don't ask that question. Tulia. But if they ask you, now, if they ask you, this is now what you need to do.
Best answer.
The best way to answer this particular question. If you have been asked about your salary, now you talk about your value. Before you mention your value, you are the salary you want to be paid. Talk about your value. Talk about your experience. Talk about what is it that you're going to bring to this company. What are you going to bring to this company? If you are a salesperson, talk about how you've increased sales in the past and how you're going to increase sales here. Talk about how you're going to increase, if you're working for media, how you're going to increase viewers or listeners, you know, and probably the marketers, those people that are putting ads in your organization, how they are going to reach more people than before. So you talk about your value, talk about your achievement, talk about your experience, and then quote a figure. Give them a figure. Now, this figure, you should have done your research. You should have done your research. Don't just quote a figure widely. You should have done your research about that particular organization. How are they able to pay, or how much have they been paying this particular position, so that your figure is not wild. We have a problem with the youth nowadays currently. They quote figures that are wild. And maybe I don't blame them. It depends on where they come from. If you come from a family where every day you are being given 1,000 bob by your parents, every day they leave you 1,000 bob. If you go to quote a salary, definitely you will not quote 30,000, because 30,000 is what your parents give you. So you may actually quote 100K, and maybe that organization only gives 35,000. Most entry jobs are around 30-35. Most entry jobs. Utanyimwa kwa sababu you did not do your research. So do your research. Do your research about the organization. Do your research about the position you're going to, and do your research about the range. How much do they give for those particular people? Then you negotiate. You negotiate along that particular line.
So, Madam Joyce,
yes.
Mambo na salary and promotion, it should come hand in hand, ama tunafaa upromotiwe pesa kwanza ibaki mahali ilikuwa?
Now, promotion is another thing altogether. It's another thing altogether, because when you are getting your job at first, you are only interested in the job. Actually, you hata una mind ya promotion. Wewe ni uingie kwa kazi kwanza. Ukishaingia kwa kazi kwanza, then you check whether there are other opportunities that can help you, or you can be able to, you can be promoted from one level to another. Some promotions come because of performance. Some promotions, they come because of performance, what you have done. Other promotions come because of experience. You have been here for 3 years. You need to move to the next level.
Shikilia hapo. Tunarejea kwa nyingine kuongelea mambo na mishahara, salary. Hili swala zima, Madam Joyce, tena tuko amu nyingine. Watu wanauliza, is it possible hata wenye watakagi ku standardize waziwekange tu hapo kama menu.
Ukija unajua
kuna kitu inaitwa scheme of service. Scheme of service should carry all that. Should carry the positions that are there, and the range, the salary ranges from what level to another. It should also carry the requirements for a promotion. If you want to be promoted from one level to another, what is it that is required? Some of the promotions need you to further your studies and gain more skills. Other promotions need you to have worked and gained experience. Other promotions need you to have done something that will be recognized by the organization. So all those structures are there. In any organization that is good, all this information should be should be available to all the employees, so that there is no variation, there is no differences, and there is no that issue of saying huyu anajuana na boss ndio maana amepata promotion. But everything should be laid down there, that even the person applying for a promotion can be able to say nimequalify because niko na hii na ndio inatakana, niko na hii na hii na hii, so therefore I should be promoted from one level to another. Other organizations also promote according to availability of opportunities. So the issue of promotion depends on every organization. It depends on organization.
Umotiwe upate pesa mingi bado kidogo kuliko yenye ulikuwa una earn, kwa sababu
Chacha, but by there I want to tell you, James, money is never enough. Money is never enough. If right now you are earning 30,000, you are living in a house of 2,500. You are probably your food, maybe there are some types of foods that you don't eat. If you eat bread, it may not be accompanied by Blue Band. If it's accompanied by Blue Band, it may not be accompanied by jam and so on, and peanut butter and so on. But the more your salary is increased, the more these things find themselves on your table. Even places to go, even places to visit, even the clothes to wear, even the clothes to wear, even places to live. You may shift from where you are living to another better place. You may be driving a simple car like mine, and then when now the salary goes up, you decide, let me go for a bigger car. So what does that mean? That the more you get, the more you spend. Meaning, there's no one time where you can say this money is enough. Because the more you are given, the more you spend. The more you spend. So there is no way you can start saying that me, I have more money than the other person because the other person is also equally spending according to his level. There's a lady friend of mine who was telling me, my husband is a manager. So in this house, we must live like we are living in a manager's, house. This is a manager's house. We should eat the way children of a manager, eat. We should do this because, are you getting that? So money is never enough. Money is never enough. So it shouldn't be the basis for us to say, I will do this job, I'll not do this because this one doesn't give. All of us desire money. And yes, by all means, if you can get a job that will give you more money, go for it. Go for it. But don't sacrifice your happiness. Don't sacrifice your family. Don't sacrifice your health, even your health. Don't sacrifice your health. Don't sacrifice all those things because of the amount of money that you're going to get. So whatever job that you're looking for, look for a job that you are able to do and you're happy in it. However, even these jobs that are risky jobs, risky jobs are risky jobs like maybe you are, for months you are in the ocean, you are maybe a captain, you are, maybe you are in the air almost every now and then, maybe you are working in a desert, maybe you are working, those extreme conditions. However, we still need people to work there. We still need people to work there. But let them work there because they also have a passion for it. They also have because even the most difficult job, we need someone to do it. We need someone.
Hardship allowances.
Yes. When hardship allowances. Yes.
Now this whole thing, salary, madam, imefanya relationship ya employee na employer. Sijui kama nimeweka vizuri.
Iko sawa.
Ikue sometimes ikue vizuri but ikue vibaya. Mwajiri anaanza kuna kachuki fulani kanaingiliana. Sasa ninaomba haki yangu na unanichukia kwa nini?
Unajua, I always say there is something called empathy. Empathy is being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And if everyone had empathy, both the employer and the employee, organizations will run very smoothly. If the employer has empathy, and if the employee has empathy, because empathy is being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. You as an employer, if you put yourself in the shoes of your employees, you'll be able to know, when I treat them like this, it will be good for them. It will be good for them. You as an employee, you should also have empathy on your employer, because your employer may not be able to give you 100% what you desire, because we all desire different things. There's no employer that can pay 100%. Every employee would always want higher salary. everyone would always want, do I increase your salary? Yes,
Yes,
of
yes.
course. Yes, of course. Yes. So you
Yeah.
as an employee also look at the employer and see, really, is the employer really making as much money as you are thinking that he should be able to pay you that kind of money? So empathy should be there, both from the employer and also from the employee. When there is empathy, the organizations run very well, so that the employer is enjoying himself there, happy with all the money and all the stares, while the employee is languishing in poverty.
Amen.
It shouldn't be there.
Anasema good morning CJ na Washira na breakfast show jamani. Sahi I'm jobless kwa sababu ya mistake yenye sikufanya. Anasema I was paid double a month.
Okay.
Alafu audit kufanywa akapatikana ilipua double, hakusema nani ako na makosa, akafutwa kazi.
Now both the one who paid and the one who ate, both of them are to blame.
So nikipewa double, nikimbie kwa boss.
Listen, ukipewa double, go and find out what happened. Was it a salary increase or what is it? Because I found that you paid me more than I am supposed to get. Then clarification is done. But you cannot be paid double, keep quiet, squander the money when you know there is someone has made a mistake.
Usianze kufurahia.
No, you go and find out. How come I went to the bank and I found that my salary is 100K and I normally earn 50K? That means there is a mistake somewhere, isn't it? If you go there and you ask and they tell you, oh, we found that you did a good job last month and we decided to give you a bonus, be happy, squander the money. But if you go there and you find out it's a mistake, please tell them remove this money. Or you refund the money. So yes, sometimes we are ignorant in these things and you say, Sinwa wamenilipa. Let me tell you, you'll pay that money. Even when a mistake happens and you are paid more than what you're supposed to be paid, finally, it will be discovered where that money went and it will be recovered. And sometimes now, it will be recovered by someone losing their job. Yes, the mistake was not his, but the mistake was for him to use money that he knew was not his.
Nakumbuka mtihani wa CLE pale primary school, maswali ya mwisho as a Christian.
Yes, as a Christian application. That is an application question. That's an application question. But sometimes when that happens, really they shouldn't have sacked him, but they should have recovered the money. They should have probably recovered the money over a long stretch of time, maybe, and recovered their money, but not to sack him, because for sure he's not the one who processed the salary.
Sometimes
he's not the one who processed the salary.
Unapimwa madam, unapimwa imani.
No, inaweza kuwa kupimwa pia.
Unapimwa imani.
Inaweza kuwa kupimwa.
Umetafutwa sana upatikane. Ndio upatikane sasa utumwe.
Inaweza kuwa kupimwa. Actually, those are some of the areas where we solve conflicts. You may have a conflict. Sometimes we talk about conflict which is outside there, but sometimes we have conflict that is within us. We go through conflicts within us. And there are some approaches to conflicts. There are some approaches to conflict. One of them is approach conflict. You know, approach is now for his case. Approach. I have seen there is a lot of money in my account. I have all these problems that I have, which I can be able to solve with this particular money. But is this money mine or is it not mine? But because there are things I want to solve, then he takes the money and uses it. Because all of them are appealing. They are good scenarios. A good scenario for the money. Money has come is a good scenario. Good scenario because I will solve these problems that I have. Approach. It's a conflict within you, but you are approaching it. You have two good things. Money has come, and here I will solve these particular problems. It's just like when you get two jobs that are well-paying, you get conflict within yourself. Approach. Then you have approach avoid. Approach avoid is when now you have one good scenario. There is money here that probably I have found it in my account, but this money is not mine, and there could be consequences if I take this money. So there is the feeling of I should squander this money, and there is the feeling of this money is not mine. Approach, avoid. And then there is avoid. Avoid completely this particular.
Hiyo pesa ni yako bro.
So there are those kinds of scenarios. Well-paying
jobs.
Well-paying, By the way, all jobs can be well paying.
Mhm.
It depends. You can raise from one rank to another
Yeah.
until you reach a level where it is well paying.
Mhm.
Like for instance, if you reach the CEO status
Yeah.
or CEO stage,
Mhm.
that's a well paying job.
Mhm.
But again, you don't. I've had students when I have asked them, "What do you want to be?" Then they tell me, "I want to be a manager." You don't start being a manager right from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Mhm.
You grow into being a I've ever had students,
Exactly,
what do you want to be? I want to be a manager. I want to be a CEO.
Tuko
I
na
want to be
evidence.
this. You don't get there
Yeah.
right
Hivyo
from
tu.
evil to. You have to grow. You have
Yeah.
to grow in that job until finally you reach.
But we are
you
killing
reach there.
people's ambition outside here. But
Tuko na evidence.
Mko na evidence, Nani
Yes.
anataka kuwa manager hapa? Anyway, so the CEO,
Yeah.
the CEOs, they earn good money. There's a good
Any
money.
CEO.
Any CEO,
Yeah.
they earn good money.
Mhm.
The senior level executive
Mhm.
officers, they also earn good money. Then we have things to do with petroleum.
Yeah.
Petroleum engineers, they
Mhm.
earn good money.
Wow.
They earn very good money. Pilots also earn very, very good money.
Mhm.
Dentists,
Mhm.
they earn good money. Doctors, they earn good money. Physicians,
Yeah.
psychiatrists,
Mhm.
they earn good money.
Mhm.
Even psychiatrists earn good money.
Mhm.
And then we have neurosurgeons.
Mhm.
We also have anesthesists or anesthesiologists.
Yeah.
They also earn good money. So there are those jobs that earn good money, and any job that needs high skills
Yeah.
will earn good money.
Your last word as far as salary and job is concerned, and of course, passion.
Let's go for what we are passionate
Mhm,
about,
mhm.
what we are comfortable about.
Yeah.
Let's not risk ourselves because of salaries,
Mhm.
and then we don't do a good job in whatever salary. We are looking for salary, but we are not able to do a good job.
Rashida?
That's what I can say.
Thank you, Madam Joyce.
Yes.